After our friend and colleague Kyle Dyer was bitten by a dog during one of our broadcasts about 2 weeks ago now, we here at 9 News decided to rededicate and re-educate ourselves when it comes to working with and dealing with dogs.
So all this week we're airing a special series on canine behavior. 9 News reporter Kevin Torres interviewed one of Colorado's leading experts on dogs. And Kevin is with us this afternoon to talk about his story, which will air tonight on 9 News at 9 and 10.
Kim and Mark, tonight's story will focus on dogs and babies. Many of you watching at home have little ones, and chances are you also have a dog or two. I spent some time with Dr. Suzanne Hetz, who is an animal behavior expert here in Colorado, and she told us many things a lot of us had no clue about. Before we get to the baby part, though, we want to recap a little bit of my story from last night, which focused on the proper way for humans to interact with dogs. Last night, we took a good hard look at the way we as humans are properly supposed to interact with dogs, whether it be our own, like my dog Pickle, or an unfamiliar dog.
With an unfamiliar dog, facing them, leaning over them, reaching out over their head is all very intimidating.
When it comes to unfamiliar dogs, you should know a few simple things during the introduction phase. For starters, let the dog come to you. Keep your hands near your side, avoid eye contact, avoid facing the dog, and keep your face away from the dog's face, unless you know the dog really well, like the way I know Pickle.
Kisses, thank you very much for those kisses.
Tonight on 9 News at 9 and 10, we're going to focus on babies and kids and the way dogs interact with them. What you'll learn about a dog's feelings when placed with a kid is something that will likely surprise you. A lot of surprises. We have a bunch of tips for you on 9news.com in regards to human interaction with dogs. Also, I'm going to continue the conversation from now through the 10 o'clock newscast on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/reporter Kevin Torres. I've also posted some behind-the-scenes video and pics from this series. And I also have my live webcast streaming right now, so if you have any questions between now and the 10 o'clock newscast about this series and what we're going to show you tonight, feel free to join on in. It's on the Facebook page, and we can explain more. But it's an absolutely fascinating series, and we had absolutely no idea when we went in through that educational meeting here last week at the station how much we were going to learn, and there was quite a bit.
I have said, so many people have been asking us, how's Kyle doing, you know, asking us about her. And then many people have followed up with their own personal dog bite story. Sure. It makes you realize how incredibly common, and I was curious where you found that video, and I'm not surprised, on YouTube with the child, right?
Absolutely. Dr. Suzanne Hetz sent that to us, and basically what she said is that a lot of parents say, oh, this is so cute. We're going to film our child who's bouncing up and down on the dog, but you can clearly see that even though the dog will tolerate so much, that there is a lot that the dog will not tolerate, and you can really see it in the body language. That's something that we're going to take a closer look at tonight at 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Good,
Too
good
many
news
stories
for
about
parents.
children, and you know.
Yeah, and so many people. You're right. Even George Carl. I mean, we can't believe the email that we've had from viewers who've had this happen. You know, I mean, and with lifelong consequences, and they still love dogs, but they've learned to be very cautious, and it's a lesson for everybody. Last night in the newsroom, sitting at my desk, and I sit right next to Kyle Dyer. Kyle Clark is 2 seats away from us, and she called the newsroom real quick to give us a quick update, and he said that she sounded pretty well. He was surprised, and she's talking and everything, so it's really good news, and we hope that this turns into a really big educational lesson, not just for us, but for all of you who are watching at home.
Yeah, just last night, the little things that she said, it's like, wow, that makes sense, but nobody ever told me that.
Right.
Like, don't pet the dog over the head, just go under the chin or around the side. It comes across as a very...
Don't bend down or lean over,
Intimidates the dog.
Well, okay, thanks.
All right, Kevin, we'll look for you tonight.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
And Petline 9 is next.